everyone, this is Vicky, and I thought I would come on and show you what I've last been doing. And it involves a lot of different kinds of things, and so I thought maybe I would tell you what I've been doing, how I've been doing it, what products I've been using, and and how I put them together. So let me go through this and show you. There's a lot, and it's so fun. So let me set my iPad down and show you that I made some bookmarkers, and they came out so cute. Okay, for my grandchildren. And so let me tell you that I used my own little stamp, which is a lino cut, and I carved this out in mind for my grandchildren. And then I went crazy and made many of which sometimes I do. I made a little border to go with it because she has the same little flowers on the body. And so I did that as well. So this is the end product of what I made. Just love it. And this is a bookmarker that is a hidden paper clip. So that's what they call it because it's hidden, the paper clip. And how you stick it on is with this. So there's a hole and you put it through your page like this and open it up and you saved your page. The page I'm saving would be this one. And so there's my paper clip because it's fastened in. Oh, I hope it didn't get caught. There we go. So that is what I made. So let me go through this one that I made first. This is the end one that I got that came out from all the experimenting, came out the best. And I didn't use the, I was practicing with this one in the last video, the Gansai Tambi granulating colors. I didn't use this for these last two, but I used it for all the other ones. I was just experimenting with other projects, with other products, I mean. And this one was this Stampin' Up! Pastels that I've had in my stash forever. And I've never really used them. I may have dabbled into it before, but never really used it. And this is what it looks like. You might have this. And I don't know whether they still make them or not, but I use this little stick, and then I just dabbed it on. And I thought that looks so pretty. This is the type that I like that has, and I didn't use the water, so you can use it with water, but I just dabbed it on and kind of rubbed it through in various areas, and it came out so soft and pretty. So I ended up really loving that. And then on the back, I also use it just lightly. And I love the soft texture it looks. And I put it together. I'll show you at the very end how to make these and how to put it together. So after I construction it, I put on the embellishments. I didn't put any, I just put this little rhinestone here, had in my stash on his neck. And then I put this, because first I put this on. This is a Tim Holtz rhinestone. And then I used some wire and wired it up so that I had more control than these type of rings, which just kind of move around all over the place, you know, and it doesn't lay down flat. So I decided instead to use a wire and wire it, keep twisting it up the way I liked it, and so that it stayed on where I wanted it to stay, and that's how I did that. This is fastened with a hidden paper clip. Is fastened with a paper clip that's glued inside the middle, and so I am able to hang some things from it. So I used this thread, which is some kind of I don't know. I don't know if I found it in the jewelry section. I think I did. And it comes like this. It's pretty thick, but it's not embroidery, I don't think. You may check in both areas if you want to get something that's thick like this. But I use those kinds of things for all kinds of projects. And so I used this and tied it up in a bunch of bows. And then on the back side, I used thread, just regular thread, black thread. And then I tied it, so you could see all the wiring I did with the wires, and left the end open and put this little bow. I don't think it's an applique. I think it came in a long roll, and I just snipped it off, and it's a little bow lace, and then attached that. So I like the way it looks. Of course, I didn't want to spend a lot of detail like this on for my grandchildren. I did put some beads and things, and I'll show you those in a minute. And so I did, but I like the look of this one for myself. And then also I did this one, which I did not do. I did not do the Gansai Tambi granulating paint. I used my other Gansai Tambi, and it comes in, I got the 24 for Christmas, and I got this one. And so I did swatch it out, and I'm going to show you just the color that I used for this one. I haven't been playing around other than the swatching. I haven't really played around with the watercolor yet, but look how pretty this color is. This is the color I used, and it came out really pretty. So that's the color I used, and then I used some brown. I think I just mixed up the brown a little bit with something else, and used that for the body. And then for these little portions, I think I just used just a dab of maybe some kind of orange and yellow. You could see in the just dabs of water. And I did do this first, the little dabs of light colored, and just dab it to make it look kind of painterly. And then I also did the ears and the cheeks. And I didn't do the eyes, I did that last. And then what I did was I used this ballpoint pen, which is I like this one the best. It stays the longest. I mean, I've had it for a long time, and the other one's dried up. But the Uniball one, this one, works real well with lightly putting on these little flowers, and not uniformly. I like it how it's just kind of fantasy look. And so that's what I did. I just left these white, these little feet and paws. And I think it came out really cute. At the end, I used some flickers of paint on my paintbrush and flicked it on with this Kuretake ink. So you shake it up, and then you put it on with your paintbrush and just flick it around. And I did quite a bit of it, so I love how I got a lot of that paint on. Okay, and then on the little clip here, the paper clip hole, I have this portion that I did first because I just looked in my stash and found this, that I got it downtown LA. A long time ago, and so it's a heart, a crystal looking heart, and then I put two of those rose these beads that I got from the vintage market. I used these. I wanted to use these since I just had purchased them, and so I put that on rose quartz. That's what it was, she said. The little lady who sold these to me from her stash she was selling. That'll be me someday. And then I put it on this very light weight wire. It looks like this, and it's very pliable. And so you can get this at Michael's or Joann's. I'm not sure which one I got it from. And it's pink, and it's shimmery looking, so I wired it up. and stuck it in between here in the back side and put a little glue on there so that it'll stay, because I didn't want this, moving around. And then I put some seam binding, crinkled seam binding that was from a stash. And on the back side, I did the the little border when I stamped it with some of the spray. I didn't tell you about how I stamped my bunny and my background stamp. And I used this VersaFine, which is a pigment ink that it says it is, oh, I can't see it. It's resistant. It's a oil-based ink on uncoated papers, and it's good for resistant of water resistant. So, but I used that one because I like the color, and it stayed on. It didn't blur, so it works well for me. The other one that I used is this archival, and this is the one that my print teacher had given us. And so it's because it says waterproof and permanent. So those two are the ones that I usually use for stamping and watercolor, and it comes out well. So this one I did the same as the other bunny, and I think it came out cute. And so that was that one. Those are those two that I used and the products that I used. I think it was a lot of fun. So on the other ones I would like to show you are the ones I made for my grandchildren. And so I just found this bunny rabbit basket that I'm going to be putting their things in. I said I was going to use like a brown paper bag, but when I went to Five Below, which is like a Dollar Tree but higher end, I found this. She said it was 50% off of $4. So I thought $2, wow, for a little basket, that's great. And it's so cute. She can use it, for my grandchildren. They can use these for decoration in the future. My daughter-in-law can use those, and my daughters. So I thought, well, I'll just get those for my 7 grandchildren. And so that's what I used to put it in. So I'm going to show you the ones that I made for my grandchildren. So I decided to do the ones for them, just to give you ideas, and maybe you want to make some. You have some time to make some for your grandchildren or for your family or friends. So what I did was I decided I wanted to use these. You know those from over at Michael's? You get these letters. I have some because I thought my granddaughters wanted to make some bracelets or something, and so at one time. And then I still had a lot of letters left over, so I did make one for each grandchild. And I used the wires, and I had found these in a package somewhere a long time ago. And that's a lesson, is that, well, this is what I do anyway. And then it's a plus and it's also a minus, because if you don't use them, it's like, it's kind of a waste. But if you use them, you have something different. And I don't know what these are used for, but I found them and it was relatively inexpensive. So I bought a package of these, and I don't remember where I've got them, but I bought them and I thought, oh, this is interesting to use for this. So I put it on there with a wire, strung the names, and then this is the same watercolor I did. I think this one was originally from the, again, by Tambi. Doesn't look like it though. Might be just pure watercolor, and then I just did the watercolor on the bottom for him to stand on. And on the back I did this and just signed it. So that was Liam's. This is Max's, my blue guy, and he loves blue. He makes it known because he won't. When he was little, he would only wear blue shirts and blue pants, and so we always remember him as the blue guy. And then I did this one in the same way. This one does look like it is the granulating paints that I used for the background. And then on the back, it's like this. Pretty much the same, but using different ribbons and yarns and things. So you're just going to notice that. This one I made for Mia. And Mia loves purple, and she loves blue now. So this is her new color, is blue, but she likes them together sometimes. And so I did them together, and this is how I did her rabbit. And then, let's see, I've got it hooked up here. Okay. Oh, this is Cousin Cody's. He's much younger. He's 4. And so I did his in lighter colors. I don't really know his colors, so I just kind of made it pastel. And then this one is Brian's, and Brian's the baseball guy. And oh my gosh, he's so good at 5 at baseball. And so I did his in blue. He loves blue also. And then I did them all kind of the same. And you notice I have some gingham here. And that is from Sweet Miss Daisy's designs, and that's Anna White, and I love her designs. Oh my gosh, I bought I think 4 packs of her different kinds of paper, and this is the one that has all the tiny checked, tiny gingham. It says Spring Mini Gingham, and she's over on Etsy, and here's her Etsy. Isn't that adorable? She is such a beautiful, she does everything well. She has a lot of illustrations that are just gorgeous and cute, and she does a lot of watercoloring. I just love it. So that was Brian's. Then we've got Lucy's. Lucy, our little Lucy, and she is named after Lucille Ball. My daughter loved to watch I Love Lucy growing up. In fact, Lucy had a first birthday saying I Love Lucy. It was really cute. Anyway, I digress. Here we go. This is Lucy. She loves blue and pink. Blue is her new color, I think, because she's a year younger than Mia. She is 7 and Mia's 8. So I did Lucy's with the same idea. And so that's hers. Let's go to Remy's. So I don't really like to use red, but the kids like red. So Remy loves red. So you notice it kind of turns kind of a pink color. And then even using the granulating paint in the background, I still added some basic watercolors. I think I used from my that pink case, of which I can't remember the name of it, but it's got all of the shimmers. I do have also the shimmers from the Kuretake ones, but I don't think I used that one here. And then on the back, we have the same idea, but with using a little darker pink. And I used the papers from Anna White's other paper pad that I've been using. So this came out really cute too. And then the last, I think it's the last, yeah, the 7th one, is the first grandchild, Mason. Oh, Mason's character. He loves red, and he's getting into more like anime and Japanese designs and things. Little figures that he paints, and he's very artistic. And so I made him up in red and black, because that's his favorite color, red, always, since he was a little baby. And so I did his with these flowers in black. And I find that I really like this pin the best, and it's a Pilot. Can you see that? It's a Pilot. It's been around for a long time, and I do my journaling with this pen because I like the way it writes. And but don't take it on an airplane because they'll leak. I've done that. But this one is a fine, extra fine Precision V5. And I usually buy them in a big package because I just love these. And whether, I don't think it is not waterproof. So I used it at the end, and because it will just drip. So don't use anything with this if you're going to put anything over it. Anything wet. Okay, and so that's what that looks like. And then this is what it looks like in the back. I thought it really looked Asian looking. Just dabbing the colors, not coloring within the lines. And it came out well. So those are the ones I did for my grandchildren. And since I did so much experimenting with all the different things, I decided, oh my gosh, I have to just make these up because there's just too many. So as you can see, I've got my basket that I just got. Isn't it adorable? It's vintage. I got it at, not too vintage, I guess. I don't know how old it is. But I bought it for $1, and I got it from my community. They do some type of pottery class. They have a pottery class, and they sell their wares. And so they added other things, like bric-a-brac things, and people brought in to sell their things they want to get rid of, basically. And so I bought that little basket, and I have saving those little eggs because they don't make them again, so I saved a few. And then those are the ones I made for the other whoever, because I made so many swatches experimenting with these colors for the, to make these. So I'm going to just show you each one because, you might give you some spark of interest or some kind of ideas. Oh, I have one of those. I think I can use that with something, this project or a different kind of project. It's just ideas. So, so I thought I'd show you anyway. If you don't want to watch, go to the end to where I do a little really quick tutorial on how to make these and other ideas. So this one I put the little balls that I got from the vintage market, you can tell, and then the same way that I used it, and different kinds of twine, right? And then with this I used some paper. You can use paper that you already have and put it on the back, and it's from Hobby Lobby in one of those packages that they have. I think it looks kind of vintage, but has stamps on it. So that one, and then this one. So what I'm going to do, I guess, is give it to my friends or my family for Easter, and maybe neighbors. I was thinking my neighbors. We've had some, some of my neighbors have been going through some hard times, and as we all have, and just a little bookmarker, little thing you make me with a little candy bar or something, maybe cheering up somebody. So, and then you are getting the benefit of doing some creativity, trying something new, and using up your stash, basically. And so I think that's an idea. Spread the love. And here we have my favorite colors, pink, and then there's some black on here, and for accent. So I just did the ribbon the same, and then I used this. Oh my gosh, I have a little tree holder of different kinds of of these crystals that I bought years ago. And so I thought, oh, that's cute. I took one off. It was hanging as decoration on my dish. And so I thought, I'm going to use one of those. It's so pretty. And I use this. I love this stamp, you know, the stamp looking thing. So, of course, I use that one. And then, you know, I have some other beads. Isn't that so pretty? I have lots of beads, which reminds me, I need to just use those things, maybe make some bracelets, you know, and because there's so much jewelry things that I have, and they're so pretty. And so, you know, at least I'm using some of them on these kinds of things. And there's a little bow that I had, and I stuck that on there. This one just has watercolor paper on the back, so I can do that if I want. This one has these beads that I got also from the vintage market from a little lady that was selling her leftover things. And so this one is just, I need some work. This is like silk ribbon that's frayed, and I love shabby chic, so that was at the beginning of that. And then this one is just with a little gingham ribbon, and it could use more work on this too. But it was just fun experimenting, doing all these different kinds of things. You can tell this is that granulating paint that I used, and with just a little bit of this eyelet, a remnant. You could just put like a little wash on there, and it looks fine. And you can just put a little poem or sign it, and to so-and-so, and love your friendship, or whatever on there. And then this one has a little gauze that's stripped, and so this is also raggedy looking. I just love the raggedy look. And then these are little paper clips that I had in my stash, and I was saving it. So save it. Well, for what? So I use this one. This is my favorite one. Look at that. And then the same. And here we go. Just a ribbon. Some people just like simple, not a lot of fuss. And then this one. Here's another one of those. But I put on a little beads here, the ones I got from the last, and then I put a little star. I thought that was I love these little dainty things. So, from my stash, I think might be from downtown LA. So, and another one of the stamp ones. So those are the extra ones. Now I think I just want to show you how to put them together. And I do have one other idea that came to me. And I might as well just, let me see if I have enough. I'll show you the paperclip one. And you can use, you know, there's all these different kinds of colors of paper clips you could use. This is the size I used, the middle size, because there's tiny ones. You can see in this one, there's tiny ones and there's bigger ones, and there's even bigger than that. I have these. What I do is I go, I want to use? I haven't used a gold. Maybe I use a gold because maybe there's some jewelry and things I want to use for the gold. So I won't use those because I mostly use the colored ones. And you just measure the size, the length of whatever you're going to make, and you're going to put it together, right? This one has to be cut. So let's just try to use this one. And I used, see how it's deco edged? I have the Tim Holtz deco cutter. I'll show you that in case you haven't seen it. But I just love it because I love deco edge. So this is Tim Holtz's Decal, Ionic Decal. Okay, and it's one of the guillotines. And it cuts really nice. So I'm just going to try to lay this down. and do this really quick because I know this is getting to be a long video, and you could just make it as long or short as you want it by passing up a lot of, things out there, things you already know or things that you don't want to know. So you would measure it out, which I didn't do, but because sometimes, so you could do it that way, or if you have a ruler that has a deckle edge, you could use that also. I have this one that's really old, but I've seen that they have double-sided ones and things, so you could use that if you want. I find that even the best way is to just tear it with a ruler. So I think that works really well. All right, so you have a front, you get a front, you get a back, and then you get this long strip, and you double the size of the length of whatever you're doing. And so here it is. I folded it in half, and mine happens to be a 12-inch piece because it's a 6-inch length of this. And so what you're going to do is get your little paper clip, and I like to paper clip the front with the smaller side. The back side's going to get the more front, so it's going to be, putting it in this way. And so that's why I like to do it that way. And all I do is get my Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 or whatever this is, whatever version of this glue. This is great for fabrics and paper, but I usually use it for something that I need more sturdy. And so a lot of people don't like the smell of this, or some people, I don't know. I don't really smell this, and it's not like I use this every day. So just do what I'm doing. I'm not going to tell you. But so they have this one, I think this one that's from, it's from Hobby Lobby that Marilyn G uses, and it's called, I forget if it's Hellman or something with an H, and it doesn't have a smell, she said. So maybe you could try that one if you don't like it. This is art glitter glue, and I don't know why they call it art glitter glue, because there's no glitter in here, and of course this is all stopped up. So just when I'm filming this long video, let's see if I do have a few others, or maybe a pin. So I'm sorry about the delay here. And what you can do is just put a very light amount of this one on here, just on the edges, because that keeps it really nice, and just do that, okay? So you get some on there, and then what you do is you press it on the top, line it up, line it up on the bottom, and you're going to put it through with some, I'm looking for it, and it's over here. Okay, so what I do is I get some tracing paper, or wrapping paper, or cutting. Oh, you know what? You've got to do the back. I'm ahead of myself. You got to do the back first before you get the tracing paper. And you're going to go through here. Mind you, I usually look straight to what I'm doing, but I'm looking through the camera, so it's a little difficult to be not messy. And so, I grab the one that's clogged up, and here we go. So I just put a little bit. I'll try to be more careful. Looking through the looking glass. I'm Alice in Wonderland. Okay. So, and then you just I'm going to do it this way. This one's not deco etched because I didn't do it, but this is for your purposes to see quickly how to make it. So basically that's how you make it, and you want to make sure you have, if you don't want to make it hidden, you're just going to let it be, left in. If you do want it hit a little loop for all the little accessories you want to put on it, you're going to let it have it sticking out. Depending on what you want to have put on here, you maybe want a lot of things. Maybe you want it opened a little bit more, and it'll be covered up by all your laces and things. And then that's what you do, and you put it through some tracing paper because you don't want it to stick together, but you do want the sides that are glued, those glued together. So then you put it through first, and you wrap it around. And you're going to want to just kind of give it a little extra hint that it has to stay together. And then you're going to put this whole thing in a heavy book and leave it there for about 5 minutes, and it should be really good. Okay, so this morning, as I was making this video for the 3rd time, I was looking over to the side, and I was thinking that there is a wire here. And so I grabbed that wire, and I thought, oh, because I was looking at all the different paper clips, and I looked at the wire and thought, I could use that wire in the same manner as the paper clip. And so if you grab a piece of wire, and you just, the length probably, or a little bit more, and then just cut it. This is just the process of creativity, of what, it's just because you're playing with it. And see, here's the one that I used, and it's all, because I was playing with it, and I was thinking, oh, what could I could use this instead of a paper clip. And so I thought, oh, might be a good idea. Let's go with it and try it. So that's what I did. And so I was looking at it and thinking, wow, I could just get that paper, if I could find that paper. Where'd it go now? So you get the long piece of paper, and I'm going to just get a piece here. Let me just try to cut this one, because the other one I lost it. Somewhere along the lines, but I can easily make another one. And for purposes of just showing you what you could do with the wire. And if you don't want to find out what you can do with the wire, you can just leave. I'm giving you permission. Just kidding. Okay. So what you could do is, this is an example, so I just cut my wire right. Here's my wire. And you're going to fold it in half. And you could do all kinds of things with your stamps and just put, like if you put a cow and a sheep, and you know how they stack those, and stamp it like that, and then you could, I was kind of thinking, what you could do with these different kinds of things, of stamping and making things with. Making a bookmark or making a page holder, you know, for your journals. A lot of people are making journals. I love making journals too. Just haven't done very much. And you can make this as long as you want. You can make it really long or really, really short. Like a paperclip kind of size. You can make it that size. And then what I did was I was just playing with the wire. And I cut this wire already, so let me put this one away. And so I was just playing with it and thought, you know, you could just bring it around because it's pretty pliable. And don't poke yourself, though, because it's ouchy. And then make it a little longer on this side. And then put it on the inside. And you could just, I've done this before with the heart one. There was a heart one in the very beginning, a long time ago, and I used wire to make it the book, hidden book cover. And I have a video on that. I'll try to link. I started to do a you know, for the different kinds of hidden paperclip bookmarkers. It's a mouthful. I started making different lists of all of the videos I have, so I started putting them together so that people can find them and use them. But just, you know, this is already kind of in here. And then you glue this, and you can just put a piece of paper here and then put it down. And then when you glue the paper inside here, it'll keep it in there, and then you can put your paper tip. I haven't really gotten the concept down, but when I do, I'll do a formal kind of. This is just kind of an idea that popped in my head just now. So then what you could do is, I have all these. Look, I have all these really great colors. And so if I put this together on here and maybe the book cover, the, you know, handwritten thing on here, then I can match up with some of these what are these Indian kinds of fabrics you get. I unwound one of those rugs, and I got all these different kinds of prints in there, and so I saved that, and I thought, you know, I could do is take maybe some of this color and wind it around and around and add some different colors on there. Wouldn't that be cool? And depending on what you make, what your cover looks like, you can just add just different kinds of stuff. It's just so pretty with this muted colors. I really like it. Look at this. Wouldn't that be nice? The purple and this with this. And then you can wind it, or you can braid it, or do all kinds of stuff. You can make door knockers, all kinds of things. So many ideas, and that's the fun of when you're making something, you come up with another idea. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and share, and hope you come back, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.